Ridiculous questions.
Meticulously debated.
This is Tell Me I'm Wrong.
Well, I was happy just last night. I've been losing sight, sighting all the falling fights. What is this if this ain't right? Back again, the monster rights. Losing life until that night. Life will never let him lie. Light is mine, my past is right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tell Me I'm Wrong. I am your moderator today, Josh Ballard.
I am Ryan, and I'll be debating today.
I'm Joe, and I'll be hopefully winning a debate today.
Well, everybody, welcome to the Tell Me I'm Wrong Mike and Molly fan cast. We are back again, 1 week off. We had to have a little break there to talk about SEC basketball and have our friend Tom Hart on. But listen, we got to get back to the brass tacks, the real deal, the stuff that we need to talk about, and that is Mike and Molly. If you're not familiar with the show, you're going to be at the end of this episode because that is all we're talking about today. I'm talking the incredible talent that was on this show, like Billy Gardell, Melissa McCarthy. We're talking about our favorite Mike Biggs and Molly Flynn.
I'm going to hang up.
Josh, this isn't what we prepared.
This is exactly what we talked about. You all said we are going to talk about TV's favorite couples, and we're going to talk about TV's favorite couple, which is Mike and Molly.
I think you misinterpreted the text.
Let me read. Hold on. Let me check. I'm going to pull up our text. I'm going to go. Here we go.
If you scroll past your manifesto about Melissa McCarthy.
Mike and Molly, yeah. And all the Billy Gardell gifts.
Once you get past the season 6 synopsis, you'll see where me and Joe came in and said,
God, did I really?
I think you had like a fugue state or something because, the texts were coming.
Did I really Photoshop Billy Gardell's head onto Jason Statham's shirtless body?
No, well, that was actually
that
Joe.
was my body.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. COVID, man.
Good for you. Well, okay. Now I see this. I read it and I misinterpreted it. You said we were going to do which television couple would have a joint Facebook account.
Yeah. And I think me and Joe got the message and we hoped that you would.
Well, I thought we were talking about which TV couple we talk about on Facebook the most, because if you've noticed, I've been posting a lot of notes. You all still haven't accepted my invites into the Mike and Molly fan group that I created.
Well, the screenshots of the notes that you take on your phone are just a little psychopathy. It's the work of a madman.
Well, and if you put it into Facebook, they limit it, and you have to click see more, and then I have to go down in the comments.
The whim of a madman.
I have to go down into the comments, and I have to put the rest of my text in there. And so if I do it in the Notes app, I can just post a bunch of photos, and it's much more easy to read. So that's why I do that. I don't understand what the problem is. Well, anyways.
It sounds like the way my dad would go about posting something, and he does not have Facebook.
And well, I mean, and to be honest, the iPhone is always with you. So whenever you have those fan theories and start your fanfic, which, by the way, please take us off of that email chain.
No.
Your fanfic of Mike and Molly is getting a little too raunchy. I cannot handle it.
It's like a love letter to Molly.
And a little too much Mike, if I'm being honest.
I don't understand what the problem is.
Why is the scene with him in the bathtub so long?
Look, I got lost into it. Look, I have to do something while I drive to work.
Do you type while you're driving to work?
Well, yes, and I don't write it. I dictate it to Siri. Siri technically.
Oh, you dictate it. I got it.
Look, don't judge me for the things I enjoy doing in my spare time. So
I think we're going to judge you.
But not for this. I just judge you. It's enjoyable.
Well, what else is new? Well, since we're not talking about the best CBS sitcom of all time, we will move into what our actual topic apparently is, which is which television couple would most likely have a joint Facebook account. And it's also a topic that I think we can all relate to. I thought Mike and Molly was more relatable, but joint Facebooks are as well. What are your thoughts on joint Facebook since you don't want to talk about Mike and Molly?
There's a lot of things to say. Because I think the idea came from a place of a pure heart.
Well,
but I think it actually achieves the opposite effect. I just feel like it is asking for trouble, to be honest.
I feel very much the same way. Like the second I see a joint Facebook account, I always automatically think like, who screwed up?
The man.
It also, I always think of what high school friend are they trying to avoid?
Or which high school friend have they been unable to avoid?
Yeah, one of the
Unfortunately.
two. Like, I feel like that's the joint Facebook is they're worried about some DMs from a certain. I feel like it all really stems back. Almost every Facebook account, joint Facebook account, could be traced back to a single high school person that they probably both knew.
100%. And then the other thing too is I always find it interesting is that like couples handle it differently, but like when you're going about naming the Facebook account, like who gets first billing?
Well, I think we'll have to get into that topic. That is one of our topics today.
I just feel like no matter what, you always have to default to alphabetical order. It just sounds weird if you don't.
Does it go by wedding rules where like you always list? Isn't it you always list the female first for wedding rules?
I don't think your Facebook account is your wedding invitation.
Well, I know, but I'm saying like maybe there should be joint Facebook law. Like maybe that's part of this episode is we write down.
Is that a tort?
It is indeed a tort. It is joint Facebook tort.
In Robinson versus Ballard, statute 212 in the fiscal court. I don't know what it has to do with money, but
Well, okay. So if we're talking about the joint Facebook laws, I think we can start with the first one, which is my main beef, which is tell me who's posting.
I know you've got it. Like we have a peek behind the curtain. We have a Instagram and a Twitter account. And usually when we are responding to people, we will each indicate who responds because we all have different personalities. We all have different ways of responding.
Hold on. Do we have a shared Facebook account?
Oh, man.
oh, we do. But it doesn't say our names.
We didn't think about this.
It's not Josh and Ryan and Joe. It just says, tell me I'm wrong. I'll be honest with you all. Technically, you all have a joint Facebook account because I don't ever post.
That's true.
That's
It's
true.
really me and Josh have a joint Instagram and Twitter account.
I just get on there to talk trash occasionally.
So we might be telling on ourselves a little bit, but I do think you should indicate who is posting because it could be very confusing. I can usually tell.
Well,
but-
that's part of the fun is you get to guess. It's like a little game you play.
Exactly.
I have a someone I know has a joint Facebook, and they always post who's doing it, but they'll do it like in the third person. They'll be like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna make up this name. Hey guys, Patrick here. Just wanted to let you all know I had a great
Shout out.
day at lunch, and now I'm getting back to work." And it's like, "Hey guys, Veronica here," and I'm like, I always say it, and like when I read it, I have to say it in their voice.
That sounds like a vlogger.
Yeah, that's a little weird. I think rule number 2 is that your profile picture has to have both of you in it.
That's also gonna come up, I think.
How weird is it when it's a joint Facebook and it's one person?
Well, or when it's a joint Facebook and they post a picture of their kids, which is
Yep,
like,
I was gonna say
you kind of
their
get
kids.
the spirit of it. Although if you have a joint Facebook account, maybe it's not technically a picture of you two.
I'm going to make a decree to any social media user, not joint Facebook.
Oh.
This could be single. This could be user joint. This could be Tinder
Wait a
profile.
second. Before we get this decree, I don't think we've ever had a decree before. Josh, I need you to find a really good decree sound effect.
Okay.
And here comes the decree sound effect. Now, Joe.
If you have a social media account, whether that be Facebook, Tinder, Instagram, Parler, if that's still a thing, I don't care. You need to have a picture of just you somewhere early on. If you add me on Facebook and I scroll through your profile pictures and I can't tell who you are in the first 3 profile pictures, fun fact, I'm immediately deleting you and blocking you because you're an idiot.
That is a great decree, and I support it 100% because I am not going to add somebody who their first 9 pictures are of a hat from a sports team, the truck, and then the deer that they just shot.
Friend of the show, Brandy, we got to actually peruse her Tinder dates. So if you are listening, we checked you out and you passed the vetting process if you're still here. But we immediately knocked out a lot of people when we could not figure out who the person that was trying to match was. It was like, which one is he? And there's 4 dudes in a photo. Let me tell you guys, if you're trying to pick up a date online, don't post pictures of other men, because she may like the other man in your photo better.
Or find a picture of other men and you're the most attractive one. That's the other route.
And
to go.
definitely don't post pictures of you and another woman, just the 2 of you. I don't care if it's your mom, your sister, your cleaning lady,
Crop it.
your dentist.
Crop that shit.
It doesn't matter.
Who's taking pictures with their dentist?
Some people really like their dentist. I don't know.
I have a dentist appointment tomorrow. Should I take a selfie?
Yes.
Yeah, please do. Take a selfie, post it on our social media.
Please don't tell them you're taking a picture. So in the middle of while you're in the chair, just hold your phone up and take a picture.
with the thing in
Yes,
my
and
mouth.
they'll have no idea. So they're just looking up at you over their glasses like, what the hell is this kid doing?
A super flattering photo of Ryan.
Now, there is one other brand of shared Facebook account that I do think we need to take into account, because I believe we know some people that do this. Not selling out anybody's parents or anything, but the one of the people in the couple has a Facebook account and the other person uses it. It's like no dirty deletes, no dirty Facebook snooping. Put your name to it.
Also, it's 2021. There should be a phrase for that. Like, there should be a word for, like, is it like some form of sleuthing, or it's something trying to be sneaky and catch some people if you're on somebody else's Facebook looking for people.
To Facebook.
To Facebook.
Like, take my parents. My mom has a Facebook. She uses it way too much. The dinner table sometimes. I'm like, put your phone down. We're playing Phase 10. But my dad, he doesn't care about anyone on Facebook. I know that's the truth. But he does get on her Facebook profile to sell stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And the best part is he posts it and then relies on her to reply. And
That's some big dad energy right there.
She just gets so... Well, they messaged me, RJ. What do they say? And he goes, what'd they say? And she goes, are they still available? And he goes, are they available?
Oh, man.
I love parents.
All right. Should we?
Yeah, we
do
should
some-
probably get
some
into
real
our
topic
debate
stuff?
here. All right. Well, I think we have established in past. Actually, we need to take a vote. Does everybody pass the Facebook laws? I'm voting yes.
I will second.
Yeah. Yay. Any
3-0.
Any nays? Quiet. Okay, thank you.
Silence.
If
So-
anyone spoke up, we might have a problem.
I keep waiting for someone to get into our Zoom call and just pop in and be like, hello, you're on the podcast. Welcome.
I would love for that to happen. Maybe we should start recording on Chat Roulette
No.
or Omegle.
Josh won't have to think about writing people in bathtubs because they'll have a full screen of them on the computer.
That's true.
There you go.
That's true.
That'll help your Mike and Molly fanfic.
I don't need that. I just remember we saw Avengers Endgame and Josh was talking about the amount of Hulk erotic fan fiction that was going to be out there after that. And
Listen, Hulkalo is sexy.
there's a name for it. Oh, gosh.
Hulkalo. The hybrid Mark Ruffalo Hulk, when he gets like stuck between the two states, he's wearing a cardigan.
We all know.
Can the Hulk and Mark Ruffalo share a Facebook? Can Bruce Banner and the Hulk?
Hulkalo can
Can they share a Facebook and it be okay? Bruce Banner and Hulk?
Bruce in Hulk banner. Let's get into the debate. Okay, so like we said, and we have tried
20 minutes ago
to tell you throughout this episode, is that we are debating today which television couple, comedy, drama, whatever it may be, would be the most likely to have a joint Facebook account. So Ryan and Joe were each tasked with tracking down a television couple, comedy, drama, doesn't matter, that would absolutely have a joint Facebook account. So before we get into the details of our debate and the nitty gritty and you try to convince me that you're right, I just need to know who the couples that you chose are. So Joe, since Tom Hart let you win last week, even though I think I should have won, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Well, as you all know, I texted about this. I did not think this was a very easy thing to come up with because when I watch TV, I don't watch like current television. When I watch TV, the majority of people, like, Facebook was never around. Like I was a big late 90s
Joe,
kids.
we don't make this show because it's easy. We make it because it's hard.
No, I agree. But it was like when you picture someone who's never even been around Facebook and then you picture whether or not they would have a joint Facebook with someone else. It's like, I don't know if they would do
It's
it. Like,
all about suspension of disbelief.
oh, well, I said that for wrestling and you said you couldn't do it. So there it is. Josh, I know you you mentioned to me that you wanted me to do Tim, but I don't think they would have a joint Facebook.
He is, of course, speaking, and most of you all probably know this, Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yes. And I just don't think I don't think he would have one, and B, I don't think Jill would want to have one with him because she'd be looking up like book club stuff, and Tim would be looking up like hot rod and tool shows.
Now, if we're talking about Tim the Toolman Taylor, there's no way that man is not on Facebook ranting about things in 2020. If that man existed in 2020, he 100% would be one of the crazies on Facebook.
I don't know.
I don't know if it would be joint. You may be right about that.
I just don't think they would have a joint.
That man's got a Facebook.
I don't think Jill would want to have a Facebook profile with Tim.
I mean, also, I feel like they get divorced in this time.
But, well, if she's stuck with him after all the stuff he did to destroy their house, I don't think that's going to ever happen.
I think JTT tears them apart.
Okay, so I decided I would see what you said, Josh, and I would take it a little farther. So I'm sticking with Home Improvement. I'm not going Jim and Tim, though. Or Jim and Tim. Jill and Tim.
Jim and Tim is a great show.
So I am going to go with Al Borland and Dr. Eileen Markham.
Okay. So you stayed within the...
I stayed within the Home Improvement universe.
I appreciate that every time we do any TV-related topic, you always come back to Home Improvement, and I'm becoming convinced that you've never watched any other television shows.
You could ask my wife Rachel, who's been on the show multiple times, what shows I watch, and it would probably be, she would probably say, besides wrestling,
Power Rangers,
Home Improvement, and The Office.
Those are good choices. But let's we'll put a pin in that. We'll come back to you, Ryan. Who did you pick?
I normally, I often talk about how I have difficulty researching and choosing topics sometimes. I did not have trouble with this one because I went with my gut. And it was an easy choice for me. And that is Corey, Matthews, and Topanga, because I just got this feeling about their relationship. You know, the whole show is really about their relationship. If you look at, the arc of the whole show, it's about them. And the way that you get to know these characters, I feel like they are the perfect candidates. And I think Joe's got an uphill battle because Corey and Topanga is the clear choice.
Corey and Topanga is among the best television couples of all time, first off. Boy Meets World is one of the best shows of all time.
They're definitely a great couple on television, but I don't know that they have a joint Facebook. Alan, Matthew, and Corey's mom, they definitely have big dad energy. Amy, yes. Amy and Alan Matthews definitely have a joint Facebook because he's that dad energy to check up on his kids. Facebook Marketplace. Now, Tim would have a Facebook just to buy tools off Facebook Marketplace and cars. Now that I think about it, but
there you go.
I'm not convinced that Corey and Topanga would have a joint Facebook.
I think this is the easiest slam dunk choice.
Well, Joe seems pretty passionate about this debate, so I'm going to let you kind of give us an introduction, give us some bullet points, and explain why you made your pick of Al Borland and Dr. Eileen Markham.
Now, when I told you that this is what I was thinking, your first comment was, well, they're not married. And that's correct. They are not married. But I'm going to tell you why they would actually have a joint Facebook pre-marriage.
That's a bold move.
Yes. As you all know, Al is the lovable, hairy, fat guy that's in every TV show that you just love. And he's just a good, wholesome dude. Al's a nerd. He's a dweeb. Let's be honest. He's never been around a lot of girls, and Jill was always trying to hook him up. Dr. Eileen Markham was the sister of one of Jill's coworkers, and Jill introduced her to Al in order to try. They'll be perfect together. Also, do you all have friends that try to hook other friends up? Because I hate that.
Yeah. When I was single, 1/3 of this podcast did that.
It wasn't me, right? I literally just thought, did I try to hook him up with someone?
Yes.
I did?
Yeah.
I really don't remember doing that. Okay. Anyways. Once they met, they were basically inseparable. They did everything together, from couples costumes, which we've hit. They went all out on their couples costumes. If the energy they put in their couples costumes should have been evident on how much energy they're putting in their Facebook profile page together.
I have a specific question before you move on. In the Al Borland, for his couples costume, did he also do a coffee ground beard to be himself, or was that just you?
No, that was just me trying to capture the inner, the outer beauty of Al Borland.
You got it.
Josh,
Keep going.
he swears that's how they do it in Hollywood.
Yes.
Listen, it might be. I wouldn't know. I'm not in Hollywood.
So if I can get back to what I was saying before I was really interrupted. They had couples costumes. They had a weekly play date, a night date at the Putt Putt Panorama, where they'd have a standing game they went and play. They played bingo together. They played bowling together. I mean, they basically did everything together. The first night they meet each other, they actually both discussed that they want kids. The next day on Tool Time, Al takes the opportunity to walk up to the crowd and on, I guess, local access cable television, proposes to Eileen that next day, asking her to be his wife or to become his wife, which Tim thankfully saves him by when he goes, Dr. Eileen Markham, will you? And then Tim dubs in, it's Godzilla! And then lets Al pick back up where he wants. So he saves him asking to marry her. But one last thing I want to make a point of, and I have some more later, is when Al does something, he becomes obsessed with it. Whether that's when he's bought Harry's hardware store for 20%, yet he was working till midnight for the late night hardware crowd. Actually missed a date night for the Putt Putt Panorama for the first time to work at the hardware store.
Or as you called it earlier, a play date.
A play date. He invented and designed the Tool Time video game, which he put his entire life savings into. Instead of proposing to Eileen, he did that at one point. And made her, and when he became Detroit's most eligible bachelor, one of Detroit's most eligible bachelors, he actually got a second cellular device and started to ignore Eileen because he was getting lots of beautiful women to come around and call his name for the first time. That's never happened to him. So when something like that's good happens to him, he becomes very, very obsessed with it and just consumed by it, which sounds a lot like what most people on Facebook are like, obsessed and consumed by Facebook.
Interesting. Well, I think those are good points. Ryan, your turn.
All right.
Tell us about Corey and Topanga.
All right. Well, as I feel like I don't need to really explain as much about the show as maybe Joe did about his show, because I feel like most of our listeners probably grew up with Corey and Topanga like we did. I'll still give a short explanation. I loved this show. The thing about their relationship is they got to grow up together. They got to see each other change. They went through a lot of hardship and ultimately ended up sticking it out and getting married. And, you know, they really truly are soulmates. They want to spend their life together because, you know, they've seen what it's like without the other throughout the show. And so the argument that I'm making is not that one particular entity wants the joint Facebook. It's that they're in this together. They both want the joint Facebook because they have shared everything throughout their whole life together. Corey admits that he fell in love with Topanga at age 6. They start dating on the show in season 3, but genuinely the whole show is about their friendship and, you know, them just basically figuring out love together.
Now, I don't want to interject here and run your argument. However, that is the entire... Listen, I love Corey and Topanga. Love their story. I think that it is just true art. However, there is some revisionist history done by Boy Meets World, because when the show first starts, Corey hates Topanga because she is weird.
No, this is true. But have you ever met a middle school boy?
I have, in fact. Yeah, I was one.
Do you know what they often do when they really like a girl?
That's fair.
But I think him saying, "Oh, she's so weird," is not evidence that he was not in love with her.
Okay, that is fair. That is fair.
Countered. So I genuinely believe, through just looking at the way that their relationship grew, they went through high school, went through college. Topanga actually chose, even though I disagreed with this choice, not to go to Yale so that they could be together. But she saw him as the most important thing. So I am actually arguing that they are both going to choose the joint Facebook, because why would they choose anything else?
So yours is there's no argument here that there's been any indiscretion.
There is indiscretion. Actually, there was actually a little bit more indiscretion on both sides than I remembered when I went through the synopses There was a few, not as much indiscreet. I mean, Topanga there wasn't anything indiscreet, but they did both spend some time not with each other.
Corey
and then
kissed
figure out
another woman at the ski lodge.
Oh,
I think that episode is
drama.
like one of the most famous episodes. And then she actually broke up with Corey because of that, because he needed to find himself or whatever. But then they come back to the ups and downs that they go through. When I was just reading through the seasons, they've been through a lot together, and I admire them for that.
Okay, well, that's a good argument as well. Well, I do have quite a few questions that I did want to ask you all pertaining specifically to these joint Facebook accounts. And so I think I'll ask one here, because I think it's a good kind of dip our toes into the water and try to get a good feel for these couples before we go to the mod office. And so that is, I want to know, what do you think their display name would be on Facebook? How do you think that they would do it? You know, couples do the like name, the letter N, other name, last name. Some do the hyphen. Some do like just a combination of the two names, which is the weirdest choice. Some do like name and name all in one word. There are a million different ways to tell people that you don't trust each other. How is your couple doing this? Joe?
I'm going to give a little backstory on Al while I say this. I believe that once Al proposes to Eileen, he immediately pushes for a joint Facebook account as well as a wedding website to accompany it.
Oh.
This is all new to Al, and he's so excited that he's finally found a woman to settle down with that loves him and is willing to spend the rest of her life with him.
So he's going to launch their joint Facebook account with a link to the
not.com. I think it would be Al Borland / Dr. Eileen Markham. I think you'd want to put Al Borland and Dr. Eileen Markham, but I feel like there's probably a character limit on Facebook somewhere. If he could, he'd want to put and, because he wants everyone to know that they are together. He's found his person and he's happy they're together. He wants this is his way to show the world that he's found his person. He's so happy. He hasn't got to date a lot of women growing up, so that the fact that he's found someone, he's very, very happy.
All right, Ryan, what are Corey and Topanga's name on Facebook?
Corpanga, because they are the weird people that combine their names together. So this is the Corpanga Matthews account for sure.
That's a bold choice.
Immediate and bold, just like Topanga would want it to be. And Corey loves how weird Topanga is. So I think Corpanga is the only option.
Well, I enjoyed both of your debates so far. I think both of those are good explanations for the name. But I do want to take a quick break and go to the mod office because I've got a few more questions for you all. And then a way that I think we could kind of get in a final word on the topic before I make my decision. So let's head to the mod office and we'll be right back.
All right, well, we have been sponsored by Device Pit Stop for a long time now, and it is coming to an end. So if you have not taken advantage of our partnership with them, now is the time.
Ryan, did they cancel because of us talking about the Brookstone adult massagers?
They didn't say specifically in the email, but I have to imagine that when we went on that rant, they were pretty.
Do you think it helps that I'm talking about it right now?
Partnership. Yeah, maybe we probably shouldn't mention the Brookstone adult moist blanket and all the things that we talked about.
Okay, well, I apologize to Device Pit Stop. We truly, truly value you all. Thank you so much for investing in the show. I'm sorry that we have to send you off this way due to our indiscretions. Perhaps we can have a joint TMIW and Device Pit Stop Facebook account so we can build trust again.
The device my wrong. No, that's not it.
That was a good try.
Tell me my device.
All right. So if you have not checked them out yet, head over to if you have not checked them out yet.
Start over.
The wrong pit stop.
There it is. If you have not checked them out yet, head over to devicepitstopky.com. You can check out all of their MacBooks, desktop PCs, laptops, gaming PCs, gaming laptops, AirPods, Apple Watches. They have everything. And if you're a little short on cash, you can bring your old devices. Maybe you're looking to upgrade your Apple Watch or maybe get a new computer. Bring your old one in and they will give you cash or store credit and you can upgrade your device. So head over to them. We are so thankful for the partnership that they have had with us. Use our promo code TMIW online and you will get 10% off your purchase. DevicePitstopKY.com. Thank you very much, Device Pitstop.
Just want to take the opportunity to say thank you to everyone who's been listening to our show. If you've subscribed, if you've given us a rate and review, we really appreciate it. The best thing, if you haven't done to help us, is to go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you get that new episode every Thursday. And then if you have not done it, go ahead and give us a rate and review on iTunes, Spotify, whatever you listen on. That helps us to just kind of grow in the charts and get our eyes in front of some other people and hopefully grow the show. Also, speaking of growing the show, we don't pay for any kind of advertising. We don't pay for anything like that. So the other way you can help us is to tell a friend. Just tell a friend about the show. Tell them what your favorite episode is, what you think their favorite episode is. If they have a joint Facebook and they need help, send this one to them. Whatever you need, we're here to help. If you have a debate you want us to tell us about a terrible friend and you need someone to share it for you, we'll happily do that as well. So just whatever you need, we're here for you, but we need you to tell a friend first. So that's the best way to help us. Let's get back to this debate. See who wins.
All right, well, we're back here in the main office, and I think it is time to settle up our score here and figure out which television couple would most likely have a joint Facebook account. Now, I asked a question before the mod office break, but I've got a few more. So the first one I wanted to ask here in the back half of the episode pertains specifically to the type of imagery that we're going to see on their Facebook profile. I need to know kind of what are we looking at for the cover photo, profile picture situation? What are they doing? What's the vibe that we're getting? I've gone to Joe first on a couple of these, so I want to go to Ryan and get his thoughts on Corey and Topanga. Ryan?
All right. So Corey and Topanga are high school sweethearts. You could even call them middle school sweethearts. So their picture and their album history is massive. So I think that you've got some really great Throwback Thursday pics that they post a lot on their joint Facebook. They've got, they probably had the wedding photo that I think everybody knows, the iconic wedding photo. I think they probably had that as the profile picture for probably most of the life of this Facebook. And then they've got the current like mom dad pic with the new Girl Meets World era. And then, there's also even like a beach pic. I'll post all of these on our Instagram so that you guys can see the vibe that we've really created on the Corpanga Matthews page. But I think they've really cultivated that typical, they post a lot about each other. I don't know if we're going to get into specific posts, but imagery, it's all pictures of them too. They really love each other. It's not hard to find pictures of them too.
I really like that, really leaning on the history of the relationship, making sure people know that they have been together forever. I like that. Okay, let's go to the flip side, some people who have not been together a long time. What do you think Al and Dr. Eileen would be putting on their Facebook profile, Joe?
Well, I think the picture I sent you two photos, and I think the second one I sent is the main one that you would see. It's a picture of Al and Eileen staring into each other's eyes. And
Al is mostly cut out of this picture.
And I think that's important because Eileen is the most important thing to him, and he wants everyone to see how beautiful she is and how lucky he is to have her in his life. And it's two of his favorite things, Dr. Eileen Markham, and he's eating. I mean, that encapsulates everything he loves to do in one picture. So I think that is definitely the picture that he would have on there the majority of the time. I sent you another one where it's the two of them like in his apartment just talking to each other. I think he just wants to show off his relationship with her, to show, what she means to him and how important she is. And I think that first picture is truly the picture that would be the most looked at photo. because he wants everyone to see her true beauty and how lucky he is to have her.
I think those are some very good pictures. I'm going to send you all one that I think would really work for Al Borland as well. You click on that there in our group chat. Oh, you've just been Mike and Molly'd.
And it's Mike and Molly sitting on the couch staring lovingly into each other's eyes.
It's the new Rickroll. It's Mike and Molly.
Is that a smile? What is
It's kind of like a smize, I think.
Yeah, his mouth retracts backwards. He does love her. I could see it.
Listen, Billy has worked with Tyra on the smize. He knows what he's doing.
I'm not going to listen. Billy and I are close friends, and I will not take this this hate for him. Okay, so now we've got the display names, we've got the profile pictures. I think the next most important thing when it comes to a joint Facebook account is really an issue that I think a lot of the couples that end up in this situation have, and we were specifically talking about, that high school friend that just won't go away, that led them to have the joint Facebook account or whatever it may be. So which member of the couple has veto power over the Facebook friends? Who's going to get on there and go, no, we cannot be friends with them. I don't trust them.
It's definitely Topanga in this situation. I mean, there was the one very small incidence of minor infidelity. It was only a kiss, but it was a big moment in their relationship. And so I think that hangs over. And I also think that Topanga has it not only because of that, but because she tends to be it's a little bit of an unconventional relationship because she does tend to be the driver of action in the relationship. She's the one who kissed Corey. She proposed to Corey. So I think that true. Her having that power just makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense. So when Lauren comes snooping around trying to send a Facebook request to Corey, it's, Corpanga's shutting that down.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe, what about Al and Eileen?
I think Dr. Eileen Markham would have veto power. I think she's the level-headed individual of the group, so I think she would have the ability to say yes or no just solely for that fact. I don't think she's worried so much about... I mean, Al is a puppy dog. He's not going anywhere, but I think she ultimately has the power of veto when it comes to people. I do know that during his most eligible bachelor period, he had some women coming to him, so she may keep an eye out for them. But I think for the most part, she's pretty trusting of Al and understands that, hey, stuff happens, and she believes in Al.
All right. Well, the last thing that I think I need to know is kind of I need to get a feel for the actual content that they're going to be posted on this Facebook page. Kind of, what are they sharing? What are they writing? What are they posting on this account? Let's see. We just wrapped up with Joe. Ryan, give me your last word on Corpanga.
Well, Corpanga, I think they're going to be sharing a lot. I think they're meme people. I feel like they are going to be sharing some parenting memes. I think they're also probably like a family game night. So I feel like they post a lot of pics of them at home on game night or even like a date night. Like Corey probably posts one. It's like, oh, ooh, look at that. Look at my hot wife. He's that kind of Facebook husband. And probably the same thing with Topanga. It's really just their whole Facebook is just about them and their relationship. Their kids may come in there at some point, but I feel like it's more about them and the life that they have built together.
What are the odds that they discovered TikTok during quarantine, during the COVID-19 pandemic?
The Corpanga TikTok would be a massive account, and the fact that it doesn't exist makes me a little bit sad that we live in this reality.
What a shame. What about Dr. Eileen Markham and Al Borland, Joe? What are they posting?
Al is posting 90 to 95% of what comes on Facebook. She's a doctor. She's busy. Al he records.
I feel like she also doesn't care.
Yeah, I don't think she cares as much. Al pushed for this joint Facebook. Let's remember, Al and Eileen are older when they meet. How many joint Facebook accounts? What's the average age of these joint Facebook accounts? It ain't no 25, 30-year-old. It's older people. They want this account. You don't see too many college kids or young. No, there's not that many out there. And if there is, he messed up. So Al definitely posts more than Eileen. He would always post pictures of their bowling, their putt-putt, their costumes. He would definitely like or comment on the majority of the posts he sees because he's bored and he loves everyone. There's a good chance that, I don't know if he can still even do this, but Al would definitely try to get into a poke war with you.
He's the
Al.
Can you
Al
still
misses
poke
the
people
poke
on
feature.
Facebook?
I don't know. He has big poke energy if you can, though. That's all I know.
He does have big poke energy. This episode has big poke energy.
And the last thing is, Al would share links and every other detail about the wedding planning going on. Hey, we booked our venue. I'm so excited to spend my life with Dr. Eileen Markham. Hey, guys, we're thinking about this for a meal. Here's a survey of what you'd want your ideal meal at our wedding to be. Hey, guys, can't wait to dance with you on the dance floor. Tim just polished to death. This is him. He's so proud of this moment, which makes it even more tragic when they break up on their wedding day and decide not to go through it. And the thing is, he has to post on this Facebook page that they're not going to do it. So he's committed to this. He's stuck with it. But they had the joint Facebook page from the inception of their engagement until then. I think it's very important to point that out. Yeah, that didn't work out. But he lived and died by that joint Facebook page because he was so proud of Dr. Eileen Markham and wanted to be associated with her in everything he did until he didn't.
Okay, I have a very specific question for Joe only. I kind of asked Ryan his own with the TikTok question, so I think Joe deserves to get his own question specifically for his couple. So after they don't work out on their wedding day, I'd assume Al Borland's content took a dramatic turn on Facebook. What was he like, sharing songs from YouTube? What was he like? What
did he go
kind
full Michael Scott post breakup?
Was he posting songs? If so, what songs? Like, what was the vibe like? I want to do a vibe check on the post Dr. Eileen Markham Facebook account for Al Borland.
Well, he's definitely somber, not posting as much. I think he still wants to keep up appearances, and I don't think Al's the type for his life to just shut down post breakup. So he's still going to find people to go to the putt-putt panorama with and to spend time with. He loves to play bingo with his mom, so maybe he'll post some pictures of him and his mom on Facebook to just incorporate that letting people know he's okay. As far as music, I was a big country western fan, so I just see him maybe sharing a couple of Merle Haggard songs. Listen to that, Lay You Down, Hello Darling. He wants Eileen to know.
I think those are Conway Twitty songs.
That's what I meant. What'd I say?
Merle Haggard. Very different vibes.
Yeah, he definitely didn't post Mama Tried. So I'm sorry. Conway Twitty is what I meant. I apologize for that. Actually, and fun fact of the show, my mom's mom kissed Conway Twitty on the mouth at a concert. Like, he bent down and she grabbed him by the back of the head and just laid one on him right beside her husband.
Your maternal grandmother kissed Merle Haggard?
Conway Twitty. She's
Conway
this
Twitty.
day. She's in her.
We got to quit mixing up Merle Haggard and Conway Twitty. You're
she's
killing
in her
me, y'all.
mid to upper 80s, and I bet she would tell you she's in love with Conway Twitty right now. But anyways, I think he's posting stuff like that, and just he's posting about what's happening on the show. He's just trying to get back to normal life. What he doesn't know is Trudy's going to come along eventually and sweep him off his feet, and they're going to fall deeply in love and get married. But it is awkward and it is sad, but Al will persevere. It was what was best for Al and Eileen.
All right. Well, gentlemen, first off, I appreciate the effort you all put into today's debate. I think it was very good, and I don't take this decision lightly. We are tied 1-1-1. And obviously, we're going to have a new leader in the clubhouse and kind of a new TMIW overall champion here, at least for the time being. So,
gonna have to get that belt.
We're gonna have to get a wrestling belt for sure.
It's coming this summer. Look forward to it.
Yeah, we'll get on that. So, I like both of your all's picks. I think you did a good job. I know Joe had some trepidation about the topic, wasn't sure who he's going to pick. Waffled between a few, but ultimately settled on Al and Dr. Eileen. Ryan knew right away with Corpenga. Seemed like a great pick as well. And so this is definitely a tough one. I think in looking at it, I had to weigh kind of the differences that we have. Corpenga, obviously they got the history. Been together for a long time. had some indiscretion in their past, which typically leads to some joint Facebook activity for a couple. But on the flip side, Al Borland is a little bit of a puppy dog, and I feel like he is the type of, I mean this with full love, a little bit pathetic. And so I think he would be totally fine with it. He might even set it up without even asking Dr. Eileen, because she's like Joe said, she's too busy. But what it really came down to me is my core belief that the joint Facebook typically stems from an adverse event in the past. And that's why I had to go with Mike and Molly. I'm just kidding.
We will not accept
I'm just
that.
kidding.
I'll take that answer. That's great.
I'm just kidding. Cue the music back up. I need another bass drop. That's why I went with Corpanga. Ryan, congratulations.
I honestly, not to be too cocky, but I don't have too much to say because I was pretty confident in this choice. I think Joe knew he was at an uphill battle, and honestly, he made me a little nervous at the end. So well fought, Joe.
I will say, just to peel the curtain back here, I knew we weren't going to actually be talking about Mike and Molly on this episode, but I tried to force my will on the boys. We did have some conversations beforehand, and Ryan knew who he's going to pick right off the bat, and Joe waffled back and forth, and Joe kept saying, I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose. But Joe kept it a lot closer than I thought he would, and quite honestly, I was very close to picking him, but it couldn't overcome Lauren at the ski lodge. That really put it over the edge for me.
So by assuming, I just want to ask a quick question. By assuming that we're incorporating Lauren at the ski lodge that happened their sophomore year of high school,
that's the danger zone, bud.
We're assuming that
It's a high school
they've had
friend.
this joint Facebook account from their wedding because Topanga is worried about something that happened. What was it? 9 years prior to that.
Those are those old flames that come back. I'm telling you.
I feel like then Corey has some other explaining to do.
Now, listen, take it from the expert. Those wounds are hard to heal.
All right. Well, I won. I am now the leader, so I'm going to take us out of this week. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I would like to thank Isle of 8 for the use of our theme song, Jean Jacket. It is a banger, and we have the best theme song of all podcasts ever.
Yes, that is correct. I would agree. I would also like to say, go ahead and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Tinder, Parler. I don't know. There's so many of them out there.
I don't think we're on some of those.
I don't think we are either, but we do have a joint Facebook account. Look us up. Tell me I'm wrong. You can definitely like and comment on that. And if there's a poke option, poke us. I don't care. Do it. I'll poke you back.
Or just type poke on all of our
write
posts.
the word poke on it, hit comment multiple times. That'd be great. The other thing is, share the show, tell a friend. That'd be the best thing for us. Help us out tremendously. If you could do that, we'd really appreciate it.
But before moving into my usual bit here, I do have a question for you boys. If we technically have a joint Instagram and Facebook account, does that mean we have a Tinder account where we're looking for a fourth? Is that how this works?
Nope.
No. Okay.
Unless there's podcast Tinder and we can swipe right on some more people.
Anyways,
I'm going to make podcast Tinder. That's my app. That's my $1 billion idea.
there we go. Make the real money. Get out of the podcast game. Well, anyways, regardless, while you're online, go to tmiwpod.com. Over there, you can find all sorts of awesome stuff like merch, ways to connect with us, send us a nice note. You can get our social media. You can check out some pictures of us, learn about us. Our bios are up there, all that good stuff. And now, as a new feature, if you go to tmiwpod.com/Mike and Molly, you can Mike and Molly your own friends. Send them the link, big picture of Mike and Molly. Tell them you got something important to show them. They'll follow the link. They'll be like, oh, I got Mike and Molly. And then they'll listen to our podcast. It's a great way to share the show. So go and do that. Check it out. Drop us a line. Hit us up. We'd love to see you over on tmiwpod.com.
One final thank you to Device Pit Stop for sponsoring us. Use our promo code TMIW, devicepitstopky.com.
And hurry.
As always,
Hurry and use it.
Hurry. As always, there is one winner, but we're all losers. Later, losers.
See ya.
I don't think so, Tim.